Hey there, this is Dr. Mort Orman, and I'm standing here today outside a big piece of property that's for sale not far from where I live. No particular significance to that, but I just wanted to have a little change of scenery for you. And I want to wrap up our discussion today about what we can learn about stress from the Apprentice TV show. And this is the fifth of a five-part series that I've been doing this week. And I want to finalize our discussion. We've talked about a number of things and how the process of mastering stress and eliminating stress, as opposed to managing it, is really demonstrated in each episode of the Apprentice show. The principles, the guiding principles are the same. And even though that show is about business and we're talking about stress and personal problems in our life, the process is the same. And we talked about how the first thing you need to do is stop trying to deal with stress and to focus on the problems that you're having. And for each problem that you're having, you're already having that problem. You've already got stress. So in a sense, it's like you've been playing the game and you're now the losing team. If you didn't have stress, you would be on the winning team. So you consider yourself, if you have stress, that you're on the losing team, and now you need to go into the boardroom and do an in-depth, honest root cause analysis. The whole idea of that is to find out exactly what's going on. Why are you losing the game? Why are you having these problems? Why are they sapping your energy? Why are they detracting from your relationships, detracting from your productivity, your enjoyment, your happiness, whatever it is? Okay? You need to do a root cause analysis. You need to look inside yourself and see what's going on. All right? So we've covered those aspects of the relationship between the Apprentice show and our own efforts to deal with stress during the first four videos. Today I want to talk about a really important and always not so obvious piece of the puzzle. And that is the finale, the grand finale, the climax of each episode of the Apprentice TV show. And that's the point I want to emphasize today, is the need to take decisive action. Once you've done a root cause analysis, the whole purpose of doing that is so that now you've got all the puzzle pieces laid out on the table. You can see what's going on. You can see what's causing some of the difficulties. And now you have to step in and take decisive action. Just like at the end of each episode of The Apprentice, there was a decisive act taken. You're fired. It was not like, oh, well, maybe we'll think about this or that, or maybe we'll consider it. No, it was, you look at all the data, you elicit all the data, you find out what happened, you assess it, you evaluate it, you make decisions. What was the most critical point? Who was responsible for that? And at the end of that process, somebody steps in and says, you're fired. It's a decisive act. There's nothing wishy-washy about it. It's definitive. It's decisive. Go home. Pack your bags. Get in the car. Go home. You're done. You're out of here. Okay? And we need to have that same attitude when it comes to dealing with the root causes of our stress. We need to take decisive action. But you can't take that decisive action unless you've done a proper root cause analysis. And you know, I was talking about that yesterday, and the point I highlighted yesterday in the fourth video in this series is how you really need to dig deep and be very honest in the way you conduct that root cause analysis. And I know you probably listen to that saying to yourself, well, I'm an honest person. I can do an honest, in-depth self-assessment. I'm perfectly capable of doing that. Well, guess what? Firstly, if you're an honest person, that's terrific, because those are the kind of people I love working with, and those are the kind of people that no matter who you work with, you'll probably be able to get good results, okay, because of your honesty. But you have to be honest about this point, and that is, you can't be honest about something you don't see. You can't be honest about something you can't identify within yourself. And that's the whole purpose of doing a root cause analysis, and that's why one of the other points of the show that I pointed out is you often need help. You need a support of other people to do an honest, in-depth self-evaluation so that you can then step in and take decisive action. That's why that one simple act that's become so famous and such a famous part of that show, you're fired, is exactly the attitude and the skill that you need to bring to bear if you want to eliminate most of the stress in your life. And sometimes the first decisive action or act that you need to make is to get yourself help. Get yourself a coach, somebody that can help you see what you're not able to see. So for example, in my own life, for most of my early life until my mid-30s, I had a series of failed relationships with women. No matter what I did, no matter who it was that I was in relationship with, it never worked out. And I could never understand why. After each failed relationship, I thought I knew what went wrong, and I vowed to correct that and to take decisive action to fix that in the next time around. And it never worked. And it wasn't until other people helped me see various aspects of how I was functioning in relationships, things that were going on inside of me, ideas that I had, habits that I had developed, ways of relating in relationships and what I thought relationships were, all that stuff. I didn't see how I had that all put together. I didn't see what was going on inside of me. But once other people helped me see it, and I could see what was going on for each of those things I identified that was killing my relationships, I could step in and take decisive action and fix it. And that's what I did. And I'm happy to report to you that I am now been happily married to my wife, Christina, for 32 years. And my relationships with most other people in my life are tremendously better than they were in the first 30 years of my life. Because I allowed people to help me. I allowed people to help me see what I couldn't see about myself. And then I stepped in and took decisive action. So for you, it could be that your first decisive act is to hire me as your coach. And I'm perfectly willing to talk with you about that. I'm perfectly willing to work with you. If you're at that point where you've had enough and you want to finally do something about it and nothing you've tried has really helped all that much, there is hope. There is a way. There are ways to get rid of your stress. You just aren't looking at them. You just aren't able to identify them without the help of other people. I'd be more than happy to help you. Take that decisive act. Start the process. Get off your couch. Stop thinking about it. Stop figuring you're going to do it someday in the future because you might not get that chance. Step in now. Take decisive action. Get yourself some help. I'd be happy to coach you. Just call me or contact me on my website, docorman.com, and we'll set something up. And we'll do it decisively so that you get the result that you want. So that's the end of this series. Talk to you next time.